Hello, good evening, guys. Today I will be starting with a new topic in C programming, that is functions in C. So, first of all, what do we mean by functions? So, functions are a set of code that will be written, which will be taking some sort of task and it will be returning some output. Now, if I talk about this definition, then it is about the whole programming language. Any programming language does that. They are made to do some task and give us some feasible output, right? But what are the benefits of writing a function in C or in any other programming language? The main motto of writing a function is increasing code reusability. Now, what do I mean by code reusability? Say, for example, uh, you are doing an addition operation for multiple tasks, right? So, for say task 1, you need to add some two operands A, B, and for task 2, you have to add some other operands, say C, D. Now, for all these tasks, you need to every time write a code and a new set. So for when you are adding A and B, you need to separately write every A, comma int B, and say some C is equal to A plus B. Okay. And similarly, when you are adding other variables, say F G, then say some H is equal to F plus G. Right. So instead of writing this separately every time, uh, we can write a function calling which will do this task every time. Okay, so how we declare a function? First of all, the syntax of writing a function in C is, first we will be giving. Now, of course, while we are writing a function, we are dealing with data, because what is the purpose of a function? It will take some data given by user, and you will also be returning obviously some data as output. That means, so first we will be writing in the syntax of function the return type. The return type suggests the data type of the data you will be returning of from the function. Okay, that is called the return type. Okay, then you will be writing the function name. I am using a different color so that you can understand. So you will be writing the function name, and inside, and will of course, because you are writing function means a method actually. In fact, this int main is also a function. If you consider, here it is the return type as I discussed in my previous video, and main method, main is the name of the method. It is the default starter method in C. Okay, so the functional bracket, and here you can take the arguments to be passed to the function. See, this place, the inside this functional bracket, you can keep no arguments, that we will discuss later. So if you want to keep some arguments, then you can list it here, parameter 1, comma, parameter 1, comma, wait, parameter 1 is parameter 1, parameter 2, and so on as per your requirement. Okay? as per the requirement, as per the specific need of your program. So there are two conditions. First, here we need to declare the function prototype. Now, what is the function prototype? Function prototype is actually just defining the name of the function with the return type and the data type of the parameters to be passed. Okay, you can include the parameter names as well, or you can not include, depends on you. Suppose say I want to write a function called add that will be adding two numbers. So let us say, so the basic syntax of writing a function is, first we need to mention the return type. So let me take integer as the return type of the function. Okay, this will be the return type. Then the function name let me keep as add. Okay, then I will be taking two variables, say in uh, I mean in x comma int y. Okay, now here, so these are the two parameters. The data, these are the data type of the parameters, and these are the name of the parameters x and y. Now, what I am saying is here you can either keep this name, right? Name of the variables, parameters you are taking, or you cannot keep. Means you can just write the, because this is the function prototype where you actually declare the function. There is a hairline difference between declaration of the function and definition of the function. Okay, I am discussing just, so for now consider this is the function prototype, or you can, prototype means the declaration of the function. And now if I talk about function definition, so defining a function means writing the task under the function that the function is going to perform, right? So in case of definition, of course we need to again declare the function, but this time the name of the arguments are mandatory. So return type, the function name, and now the name of the arguments are mandatory, int x comma int y. Fine. And opening brace, so this is a method I am opening. What task is it going to perform? So it will be performing the sum of the two numbers. Say int, I am taking a variable. So this is a local variable inside this add function z. Okay, and this variable can't be accessed by any other functions. Okay, or any I mean, this will not be accessible to other parts of the program. Okay, this z is the local, this z is local to add. Fine. And we can write return z. Okay, so z can't be used by some other sides of the program. Just you can consider an example, say in a restaurant the chef never discloses their recipe, but if some order goes to the for that particular restaurant, then the chef prepares that dish for you, but chef never disclose the recipe they include or the ingredients they include to make that particular dish. Similarly, this z is local to this function, and we can't use z in any other part of the program, right? And it will only work inside this function. Yeah, but the value z is going to return, that will be accessed under other I mean the other parts of the program. Especially we will be calling the function in the main. So here we get another term, the calling of the function. So this was the declaration, this was the defining of the function, and here we can call the function, say int sum is equal to add 2 comma 3. You can take input from the user and pass it to the function as the arguments of the function, or you can just pass it manually like I am doing here. So my expected output should is 5, of course, as I am passing 2 and 3. Let us check with this example. So why did we use this sum as integer data type? Because int is the return type of this function. So I am actually, by writing add 2 comma 3 here, I am calling this particular function. And so when I am calling this particular function, the function will perform its task. I am calling it to perform a task. And as I've declared the return type as int, so whatever output it gives, it will be integer type. So who will it can I need something to store that returned value, right? Okay, it can so some memory block is required to store that particular data returned by the function. So of course we can create a memory block by declaring some variable, because variables, so and variable, and that should be of integer data type because it is returning int. So that is what I am doing here. So printf, let us check the output. I should get 5. Yes, so this is 5. Now what is the benefit of writing this function? You may ask me that I could have done this in the main function also, that int a is equal to some int a is equal to 2, int b is equal to 3, and so sum is equal to a plus b, and print that. But the problem is, if I ask you to do, I mean, like for other variables, say something c is equal to 5 and d is equal to 7, so again, what you are doing basically, say I'm just commenting this out for some time. Let's say I'm writing int a is equal to 2, and then b is equal to 3, okay, and int c is equal to a plus b, fine, and int sum is equal to a plus b. So it's absolutely correct. There is nothing wrong in it. Oh, sorry, I have added in C only. So I'm printing C just. Printf modulus d comma C. Fine. But now if I ask you to add another two numbers, say int d is equal to 7 and e is equal to 5. In such a case, now you can't take a third variable named c because c is already used. So you need to take some other variable and you need to add d plus c. So say int s is equal to d plus c, and then print. You need to like write this statement again, printf statement, in order to print the value of s. But so if continuously you are given 3 times a task to add some different values, in such a case you need to declare so many variables, you are creating unnecessary memory blocks, right? Because declaring a variable means it is taking it will be assigned some block of memory, and that will be storing this value. So for first time addition, a has a block, b has taken a block, and c will be taking another block to store the sum. Again d will be taking. So in this way, how many variables you can create, that will be a tedious task for you, as well as definitely you are creating we do not have infinite memory space in our system, right? Therefore, what does writing this function does? This actually does is we are writing something once. Okay, we're writing something once, and then we will be just passing these values to this function. Now, if I write, say, int a is equal to 2, comma b is equal to 3, then I can just pass this a and b to this function. Okay, fine. Now, if I run this, I will be getting 5. Now, if some other additions are given to you, say 5 comma 7, then even if you are taking some other variables, say for taking just storing the adders, the first adder and the second adder, but for doing the sum, that same sum can do your task, right? So say, and I am writing int e is equal to 7. So I can just pass here e comma, say d comma e. Okay, that is what it is doing. And now, okay, so here is some error. Int sum is equal to add. Okay, what is the error? Sum are first used in this function. Acha, semicolon before int. Just a second. Okay, so I am passing this d comma e in the add function, and I am getting the proper output, that is 10. Okay, so this is the benefit of writing functions in C. Now, based on this return type and the type of the argument, there can be four types of functions which I will be discussing just in this video. I will be saying those types and which I will be discussing in the upcoming videos, right? So types of the functions are, so I am giving a heading, types of functions. Okay, so number one is function with return type but no argument, no arguments. Number two is function without return type and but has arguments. Okay, function without return type and arguments. 4, function with return type and with arguments, right? So these are the four types of functions that we have in any programming language. Actually, this function is not only in C programming language. Okay, we can actually in all the programming languages functions are present, and these four types are prevalent in other programming languages as well. Fine. So just discussing, if I discuss more about this basic syntax of the function, here we can write the prototype, that is the declaring of the function. Or if you want to skip this declaration, in that case, actually you have to define, because while defining this function, we are also making a declaration, right? So if you want to skip this writing of prototype, this step, in that case, you need to define it the same place before the main function. Okay? Either you declare a prototype before the main method, or and define the function later, or you define it right at the right before the main function. Okay? Here you can define a number of functions then, but like if you are writing any other functions, like two or three functions, if you have to write, then declaring the prototype and then again defining the functions becomes a tedious job. And in such a case, it's preferred that you define the functions at the time of declaration, before the main method. Okay, so let us check if we are getting the right output in this case also. So if we are passing this d comma e, yeah, so we are getting the right output. Fine. So that was all about today's discussion. The basic syntax. Today I've actually discussed the basic syntax of writing a function, right? And what are the benefits of writing a function. If I elaborate more on the benefits, it has a number of that. Many benefits a function provides. Only, even if I just talk about this code reusability, another example to give you, say suppose you are writing a program. For example, if you are implementing binary search, which I've discussed in my previous videos, so implementing binary search actually requires sorting, requires a sorted array, right? So if you are writing, say you are given two or three arrays where you need to find different targets for different given values. Okay, say at array 1, I am writing in this comment only, or I'm just using my paint window. Suppose say you are given an array 1, and we're given some element, just I'm not writing those elements, and you where you need to find the target of 5. Okay, assuming that you have watched my binary search video, right? Binary search and linear search both. I hope I don't need to elaborate so much on these questions, right? So I am taking another array with where you need to find a target value of say 8, and assuming another array, say array 3, with the target value say 4. Okay, now if I ask you to implement binary search on all the three arrays, and if you don't use a function, okay, first of all you need an algorithm, because when you are implementing binary search you need an algorithm, some sorting technique that I will be discussing. There are many sorting techniques, okay, that I will be discussing in my upcoming videos. But as of now, you need to know that the array needs to be arranged in ascending order, right? So for making that ascending, you need a separate function to make it in ascending order. And also that if I am asking you to perform binary search on these three arrays without writing a function, won't it be a tedious task to write three while loops with three low values and three high values? You need to take low 1 is equal to 0 and high 1 is equal to like the length of array. I am just taking because I am writing the pseudo code here. So I am just taking because this is not the function of C to calculate. I am just saying size of ARR1. This is the function used in C. ARR of size of ARR of 0. Okay. That means in short the length of the array. Fine. This corresponds to array number 1. Similarly, for array number 2, you need to take another combination of low, say low 2 is equal to 0 again, and high 2 is equal to, just I am writing length of the array. Okay, minus 1. Length error 2, just the length of the array. Fine. And so for array 3. 3 is equal to length of error 3, and of course minus 1. So consider writing this low 2, low 3, low 1 3 times, and now you need to take mid 1, mid 2. You need to run 3 while loops separately for these separate arrays. So writing it will be a tedious task for you, right? So in order to reduce the effort of the programmer, that is the you guys who are going to be, who are aspiring to be future programmers, future coders, for them, this function concept is developed. This is a property of any programming language where actually you need to write this while loop once in a function. Okay, say suppose I am writing a function called bin search. Fine, bin search, where I will be taking this array and the low and some height. Here you will be writing the while loop once only, the binary search. I am not elaborating on this. For that, you need to watch my binary search video. Okay. So you can just for pass these three arrays to this function as argument. Okay, as calling parameters. For calling the parameters which you use, we call them as actual parameters, and these are the formal parameters that you use during the definition of the function. Okay, if I talk when you are defining the function, these are the formal parameters, because these are the parameters you are considering, right? These will, the values that we you will be passing in a function will get copied to these variables actually. Here the values, here you are accepting the actual values for which you need to make some task, right? You need to perform some task rather. So these are the actual parameters which you are using while calling a function, and these are the formal parameters who will actually do the task for you, who will copy in themselves the values you pass, and they will perform a task. So in this case also, these are the actual arrays. So we will just, you just need to pass these arrays with the target value. I am keeping a key value here. Okay. So just 3 lines instead of writing the all this bullshit. Okay. Better to say bullshit because it is making your life tedious. So what I will be doing is just the 3 lines bin search. I will be calling inside the int main. Okay. It is your assignment to write this bin search function in C. Okay. I want you to write the binary search program, not in the comment section, but you can try this in your copy at home, pausing the video. Try to write this bin search function on your own. Fine. And in the upcoming videos, possibly I will be discussing this bin search in C using functions. So in the main function, you just need to write 3 lines: bin search arr1, comma, say 0, and of course I am considering some value, say, I mean the length of arr1. Okay, you will be taking some variable to store that length, and the target one. Okay, and same for the other three, I mean the other two. So here, just calling this function does your task. Okay, you can consider the return type as integer because you will be returning the index, and you can take just 3 variables. So int1 is equal to int index2 is equal to, and index3 is equal to. So this is the benefit of code reusability that a function provides. Okay, and there are many other benefits which I will be discussing in the upcoming videos, when I will be discussing these 4 types of functions that we will be considering. Along with that, we will be discussing the concept of this about the concept of this formal parameters and actual parameters more when we will be using. Okay, and the other benefits, advantages of the of using the function. So that was all for today. Thank you guys.